Oh, welcome back to the workshop, Handymans. We're going to do a little work in the house today. Actually, we're not going to do it outside. We have had a little discussion with the wife over actually for several years now. She says that our dining room fixture is obsolete and we need to do something about it. So what we've got in my dining room is this. And I think it just does perfectly fine, but she's not happy with brass. That's so outdated, I guess is what we call it. Perfectly good fixture, but anyway, she wants something different. So I figured, well, maybe somebody else has got this same problem. They may want to see how easy it is to swap one of these out real quick with a new fixture. It is going to have to be big enough because we've got this huge table. So we do have a fairly long light on that. And so she found one that she really liked and we have ordered it, and it's actually supposed to be for her birthday, but she has left the house this morning, so we're just going to surprise her with getting her put up while she's away, and she'll come back to having a new fixture, and hopefully my life will be all better. Not that it's bad. She's a loving lady. So anyways, we're going to go ahead. First thing we're going to do is go ahead and make sure that the breaker is shut off. So we'll turn the light on and go get to the breaker panel and see if we can make sure which one it is, kill that, and then we'll clear the table off so I don't make a mess of her stuff there, and see if we can take that fixture on down. Okay, we've got the breaker off, the light has been discontinued, and I've cleared the center of the table. Got me a little step stool to even stand on, so we should be good there. And let's go ahead and see if we can get you up on the subject a little bit so you can see what's going on. And I'm gonna try to keep my body out from between me and you, and see if we need a whole lot of tools or not. But we should be able to hopefully take this and just undo this nut on here. And yours may be a little different depending on your light. Like I say, I may need a pair of pliers. This thing might be stuck a little more than I was hoping for. And it is. So let me grab a pair of pliers and we'll be right back. Okay, I've got my pliers now. We'll go ahead and bust that loose a little bit. There we go. It's just stuck a little bit. We'll let that drop on down. And it looks like our ground wire is here, so we're gonna see where all we've got that going to. All right, we'll take that off of that. And it looks like we're just gonna need a little Phillips screwdriver to drop the rest of that light down. So we'll do that. This little bracket's all that's there, so. Now if you have help, sometimes it's nice to have because you're going to end up with the whole weight of the light on you here. So we'll go ahead and take this on down. I'm going to leave one of them actually. No, I'm going to go ahead and take them both off of here. Hope they're not too darned awful long going up into that. Looks like a long-winded one. There we go. We'll let that hang there for a second. And then we go ahead and see if we can pull all our wires down out of here. And all we have is our little switch leg. You may have more wires than this. Just kind of remember what it is. And I kind of still, I've taken the breaker and just shut it off and all, but I'm gonna go ahead and just cap this a little bit. So I always treat my wires like they're hot, whether they are or not, especially if I don't have a meter on them telling me that they've been actually shut off. I imagine they have been, but like I say, I like to prove it before I grab a hold of them. So we'll go ahead and take this screw out, and this fixture is out of here already. Okay, the next part of this is just opening up the box. I cut it open. We got a little directions here that really just tell you the basic pieces of this fixture. Really don't know if there's a name on the fixture as far as that goes. It's a PM 2108-5I, but I don't really have a name on it, so I don't know who made it. But anyways, that's probably not really that important. We'll just go ahead and start unboxing it, see what all comes with it. And it's got the hardwares and all, which your light will have. all fixtures come with a bunch of parts probably, and we'll put that together. I don't know if you'll have this exact one, or if there's any way to really link it so that you know which one it is. But that's pretty much what we've got. We'll take the cardboard box off of there. And really, it looks like it's about mostly put together anyway, so there won't be a whole lot of assembly on that. So we'll see how all that looks. All right, let me clean up this mess a little bit, and then we'll start putting the fixture together. Okay, we've got the fixture all unboxed, and of course the directions on this thing are about as clear as mud, like most of them are, so we'll kind of go through that real quick. This is what they give us, so I think these two pieces will be these, and then we've got several down legs on this, so hopefully those will kind of make sense into these parts here, and this wire will feed up through the center of one side of them. And then I guess you can pretty much take whatever number of these you want it to hang down, depending on how much you want it to hang. We'll kind of calculate that as we put it together. Anyways, wire it on up and feed the this wire up through there, and they give you a pretty good bit of wire, so we shouldn't have any problem with that. Just kind of pushing her up through. So we'll feed it on in. Okay, so I'm going to try to determine what the distance I want this light to hang. I was pretty happy with how this one hung, so I'm going to go ahead, and it's laying on the floor. I'm just going to kind of hit the tape measure on here and see how far from the ceiling. It looks like it's approximately 30 inches. So I want to make this one about the same, I think. Like I say, I'm pretty happy with that. Inch or two one direction or the other would not make a big difference. So what I'm going to do is, they've got us all these extension bars, and we can make it as much as we need to, really. I guess if you had a 9 or 10 foot ceiling, so you'd have to use these to get it down closer to the table. So I took this, and like I say, it's 29 inches, and I put this up here, and it looks like, if I go off the table here, looks like I need to be someplace around 20 inches will get me back up to the ceiling again. So I put two of these rods together, and it looks like that's going to give me about 21, so I think that's close enough for me. These will be extra ones I don't think we need to worry about. So we'll go ahead, and we've got them all put together, and we'll just simply screw these on here. This one just screws on. The other one I'll have to feed the wire up through. So we'll go ahead and feed that on in. I don't know if I caught that or not, but the wire should feed right straight through here. Let's see if we can hopefully do it. Sometimes what you need to do is just twist the ends together a little bit to make it a little easier to get up through there. And hope we don't have to take it apart and try feeding each one individually, which is a possibility because they get hung up in there. So far I'm lucky. Will it go all the way, or are we going to get hung up? I think we're going to get hung up, so even though I put it together, we're going to have to unscrew this top. See if that's where it's getting hung up at. Like I say, these things can be a little bit aggravating to get the wire strung through little spots like this. See how far it actually made it. Come on, baby. Go through. There it is. All right, so we can go ahead and take that one, and then we'll feed this one on up through this little piece that's left. And that's going to come up and come out this little hole right here. I don't know, I guess that don't bend, so we're going to have to reach in there and grab a hold of that somehow to get it to come out that hole. Take a screwdriver or something, push it through, I guess. Oh, that's going to come. We got a hold of, well, one of them anyways. Yeah, the other one, we don't want that to go. Well, actually, I guess we could just go all the way through with that. We don't need it to come out that hole. Let's screw that back together. So I think that can go right up into that building. I don't know why they actually have that there. That must float around somehow. Okay, we'll go on up through. There we go. And we can screw all this back together, and then we'll put the top on it. Once we get that installed, now we can put the top plate on, and we'll feed that up through one of these holes, like that. And they just simply go right up on top. Now these are squared off up on the top, so we'll have to go one way or the other so that they fit the top plate. That one went right on, and that one goes on. There we go. And then they come with a nut and a washer, and we'll have to feed those across the wire. And they simply screw on the top. So we'll go ahead and tighten those down, and then we'll be ready to go back over to the ceiling and see what it looks like. I don't know if you saw that. There we go. Okay, we brought it back to the table, and we went ahead, and on this we've, I don't know if you can see it real well or not, but I did cut the wire off, and I left some extra here just in case the wife, every now and then, you know, sometimes they'll change their mind a little bit, and if I do want to add another piece of this extension, she decides she wants it closer, I left me enough wire to get through the next one and hook it back up also, and we'll just, it's a small wire, I have a nice size box, so it should not be a problem getting it tucked back away up in the ceiling. So we've got that ready to go, and then the next part we're going to have is this, which will go up into the ceiling, and this has a little adjustment on it. I don't know if we can get this here, maybe turn it down a little bit, get a little different light on the parts to this. So yeah, this thing's not focusing well. You can see there's kind of a groove in this. You loosen this one up, and this allows this whole thing to swivel on this base, so that if your box is not lined up the direction you want it to be, once you mount it up in there, then this thing can swivel around, so your box, no matter which orientation your box is, it'll square up your light, because it's not a round light. We definitely want it to go this direction with the table. So we'll do that. It's got a ground screw, and then these little nuts will stick down through the box, and we'll just put those back on it, and we should be good. So what we need to do now is we'll strip this wire back a little bit. We'll take it up there and mount this on top of it where those other screws were, which we've got still here, and we'll be ready. Let me go ahead and get that started. Okay, now on this part, we don't actually have a ground wire in this box, so would have been preferred, but it's not there. So what I am going to use, though, is my ground wire here, and I'm going to hook it around my ground screw and tighten it up, because it's probably a better safety, and also it'll kind of allow me to use this to hang the fixture a little easier, because it'll support the fixture a little bit while I'm trying to wire it up and get all the rest of the stuff done to it. So that should help. And here again, we'll go ahead and, I never did strip the wire back. So we'll take a little chunk of this off of there. If these strippers work, they're not my favorite kind. That's got one. Okay. So and what we'll do is go ahead and put these on and twist them around this solid to this. It definitely is you want to get a good twist on there to kind of get it a little bit of a mechanical, and then put your wire nut on it. And make sure that strand of wire is probably going to need to extend past your hard wire just a little bit to give it, and then twist those nuts on there tight enough, and then verify. Give that thing a real good pull on both wires to make sure she's not going anywhere. And then we'll do the other side. Like I say, strand your wire up good. Grab a hold of your other one and make sure you twist that thing around there to give it as much of a mechanical attachment as possible. And then put your wire nut on. Give it a good tug, make sure it's solid. And then all these wire nuts and everything need to be tucked back up inside of the box. You shouldn't be leaving those hanging back out. They need to be put away. That's where it's the safest spot for them. Now the additional wire that we had left over, not real critical. We can leave that pretty much where it's at. We're going to turn this to match up the direction we want to be. And we'll snug that back down because it'll be in line with the table like we want it. And from there, we can go ahead. And if we're lucky, we should be able to pull this on up to the ceiling, making sure all your wires stay within that area. And try to line that little nut up in there to bolt up. This might be the toughest part because it looks like it's right there, but it's not. There we go. Here's one of them. And there's the second one. Okay. Now the only thing left to do is to investigate, make sure it looks straight with the table. Let me go ahead and bring this down. Looks like it's straight in the table. So I think we'll be all right with that. It's all hung up there. The only thing left to do is try to find some light bulbs. And I think actually she's got some special bulbs ordered, but I think they do take just a standard house bulb. And of course, most of our standard bulbs are going to be LED these days. So I'm going to steal a regular incandescent out of here just for, see if it'll actually fit up in here just for testing purposes and make sure we've done everything correctly. I think this, whoops, that ain't even a good bulb. It's already busted. So I'm gonna have to go find me a better bulb. This one didn't make it through putting it in there, it busted. So let me do that and we'll show you what it looks like after we get the breaker on and test her out. Okay, I've got one bulb in it and the breaker's been turned on, and we'll go ahead and there it is. That's all we got for now. We'll go ahead and finish cleaning up before the wife gets back home. See if she notices it's changed, and hopefully she's happy with it. And we'll get the new bulbs in later on. We'll try to catch a picture of that to show you what it looks like after it's done. I'll try to leave a link to where I bought this if you like that light fixture. I don't know, it's kind of a cool one. So I'll leave you a little link in the description down below and let you go pick one up. It's not sponsored, I don't, you know, it's just a fixture. They all go kind of together the same way. So hopefully that helped you out if you were trying to do yours. And we'll see you on the next project. Appreciate you checking it out. Please like, subscribe, and any comments are always welcome. And we'll see you on the next project.